I'm back. What's good, everyone? It's the novice back again for another video. This time, I'm not going to do a movie review. It's been a long time, obviously, since I've done a video. So, what I'm going to talk about is the most recent movies and TV shows I have seen. But it's just a train of thought about going into 20. It's the end of 2019, going into 2020. I was just thinking about what makes me passionate about the kind of movies and TV I see, the kind of entertainment I consume, and what kind of stuff that I want to be looking for going into like the next year, the next decade. So the stuff I've seen recently, 21 Bridges, the police uh, drama movie starring Chadwick Boseman, Sienna Miller, and so on, other people. Yeah, I don't have time for IMDb, as well as The Mandalorian. There's a couple other things that I've started as well, but stay tuned for that. And the reason I'm talking about those two in particular, one, because I'm too lazy to do a 21 Bridges review. And I'm still deciding whether I should do a Mandalorian review because of episode 6. I really liked it, but I haven't really liked the series so far. It's just better than most Star Wars stuff I've seen. So the reason I'm talking about those two, yeah, too lazy, but also because I like those two things so much, and it reminds me of why I like movies and TV in the first place. I like 21 Bridges because it's a thriller, and it's a thriller with twists and turns, with plot twists that involve various. I don't want to spoil anything. There's this a plot twist that happens in 21 Bridges that leads to a larger part of the story, and I love it. And then the characters, the acting, not just Chadwick. Chadwick was like the least. He was just all right for what he was in the movie. I already know he can act. Sienna Miller, I forget the dude. He's J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire ones. I like him too. He's so great. Um, there was a guy in the movie. I forget his name, but his character's name I believe is Michael. I'm looking out for him, wherever he is. I'll find his name. Someone told me down below what it is. I'm looking out for him. I really like that, and it just reminded me of the movies that I used to watch before, like superhero movies and like trendy movies were part of the what I was thinking about, which is movies like Fugitive, certain thrillers, action movies. This just is a love that I have for certain movies that I feel like is going down the toilet. I reckon Hollywood just doesn't care. They just want to make money off of what's popping, which is superhero stuff, which is fine. But I don't really like much of the superhero stuff that's out there. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do a video on that. My feelings on Marvel movies and superhero movies themselves. Um, but I really want to see more stuff like that. So when I'm gonna make sure I highlight stuff on this channel that doesn't just have to do with what's popular, and I'm gonna make sure the movies that are up to par at least with 21 Bridges and stuff like that, because that made me feel some type of way watching that movie. Its tenseness, I love it. The script, I love when scripts feed into good acting, which feeds into good set pieces. I love it, man. Tension. Speaking of tension, episode 6 of Mandalorian. Now I started watching the Mandalorian. Everyone else a few weeks ago. Don't ask because I'm in the UK how I'm doing it. Yeah, yeah. It just fell into my lap. But seriously, it's overrated to me. I feel like there are things. The Mandalorian himself, I like the look of him with his armor, the Baby Yoda especially. There's so many things that are distracting you from the actual quality of that show. Like from episode 1 to 5, Mandalorian kept taking L's, kept getting beat down, even if it was like a sparring session, kept getting beat down. And I used to think at first in the first 2 episodes, oh, maybe it's like an Indiana Jones Daredevil thing, where they're trying to remind you how human he is, even in the action set pieces. So he's not perfect like cyborg because I'm Batman plot armor machine, but he keeps taking L's in fights. I don't understand why the legend of why he has the reputation. I need that clear cut action that feeds into story. Because a good fight, a good set piece, that will do so much more than what scripts usually do. I don't trust script writers because they are the most important thing for me. So you better have great production design, great imagination into your world, and great action set pieces that define your character twice as much as a script writing. Because I have no respect for script writing. I have a high bar for it until episode 6. Let me tell you something. Shout out to Bill Burr first for being in Star Wars. I loved your role. I felt so good. Like I couldn't stop. I was just staring at my screen. When something's really good, I usually get excited and over the top and shout, or I'll just stare at the screen. Every so often, I'll start laughing around it. Yeah, but this time I was doing the second thing. I was just staring at the screen and then laughing every so because it made me feel so giddy inside, knowing this is the Star Wars that I'm supposed to see. It had alien characters instead of just thinking about, oh, let's have a black guy, Asian girl, so on and so forth. They had characters who, first and foremost, I felt some type of way. I have never, post 2015, I have never felt any type of way about any Star Wars product, including the other, to a degree, the other 5 episodes of The Mandalorian up until now. This is what every episode of The Mandalorian should be like. This should be an average episode. Then it would be the show that I'll truly love. So stay tuned. I might not do a review on that if I'm not bothered because I don't really care about the rest, truly. But I do like what I've seen based on the last episode. Rick Famuyiwa is the person who co-wrote and directed episode 6 of The Mandalorian. And I'm looking out for whatever he's doing because he did a movie called Dope, which you guys need to see. It came out 2015, stars Shamik Moore, who, if you're a Miles Morales fan, he's the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Verse. He played him. He plays a character in a movie called Dope, which is directed and written or co-written by the same guy who directed and co-wrote episode 6 of The Mandalorian. That's why this video is called Train of Thought. that was so long. Please look out for this guy, Rick Famuyiwa. He also directed episode 2 of The Mandalorian, which was my favorite episode before episode 6, but is nowhere near the quality. There's some horror bits in here that I like suspense and tenseness. The way the script is written, this felt adult. Do you know what that? You know how that feels. I don't agree with this idea that a studio is held back by the brands. If Disney, there's lots of adult things if you really think about it, even in Disney animated princess movies like dark things. If you want to take it there, Sleeping Beauty or Snow White, a random guy comes to kiss you and then you wake up. If you wanted to go like ultra progressive with it, that's a bit weird. Ain't that some Harvey Weinstein type stuff? But by your definition, certain feminists. Um, but Disney, I've never accepted this idea that Disney, in in order to keep doing what it's doing, it can only do PG-13, holding stuff back. In The Mandalorian, for example, before episode 6, something that always bothered me, when you show fights, I need to feel like the visceral factor in a fight. So Alien Blood would have made me like the very first bar fight in episode 1 of The Mandalorian so much more. But they don't have that. And he just feels weak. He feels weak and small. He doesn't feel that way based on episode 6. I don't want to overhype it. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it and make up your own minds. Tell me what you think below. But I love there's some horror bits. There's some ninja, Batman, Iron Fist, if Iron Fist was cool in the parallel universe, Daredevil type stuff that I love too in here. Um, just things, everything. They were just hitting beats. The dialogue. I loved this. They had alien characters. They made me feel. This is how Rogue One and Solo is supposed to make me feel. I don't care about Star Wars at all. I'm a very casual fan of most franchises, including Star Wars. But I do like Episode 3, all lightsaber fights, and Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. I like episode 5 as well, and I don't mind New Hope. That's cool. But I don't care about any of Star Wars, especially the recent movies. And you can tell Rogue One and Solo, they're trying to make you think that they are what Episode 6 of Mandalorian is in terms of tone. Like, oh, this is dirty Star Wars. This is your mom don't come around here, Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, it's where the greasy people are. Nah, nah, go away, miss me. No, it's not. Episode 6 of Mandalorian, that's adult Star Wars. The closest thing to me outside of um, parts of the original trilogy in terms of like violent stuff. But just forget that. Just adult conversations that just feel tense in the room. I really like that. I like the music that will play in certain beats. It made me feel some type of way. This is what I want in sci-fi. I Bear with me on this because Mortal Kombat might be a great movie, the one that's coming out in 2021. I yearn for this type of movie, a movie that combines fantasy and martial arts as well as a great story. Maybe it can be a detective story, maybe it can be a conspiracy thing, maybe it can just be like pure fantasy. I personally like the idea because I fell in and out of love with some of the former Marvel shows. I like the idea of a universe where a detective, a bit like a Blade Runner type thing, um, goes around solving crimes, but also just taking out enemies. But instead of them just being any random guys, they're guys who are all action guys who know martial arts, but they also have powers as well, superpowers or mystical shit, whatever, supernatural shit meets action, martial arts, gunplay. I love the idea of that. That makes me feel good, like a high concept, uh, but within a small world. I love that, and I want to see stuff like that. And visually, the closest I've come in Western cinema to seeing that is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So when I see stuff like Mandalorian is his own thing. I'm not. That's not specifically what I'm talking about when I speak about like a perfect movie for me. But this is the kind of feeling I want to have watching sci-fi, and I usually don't care about sci-fi. Yeah, not like I used to when I was younger. I used to be really into that. I used to be really into lots of movies. The passion that I've had for movies just died, and I think that's a lot to do with, apart from just being lazy, the big gap in why you haven't seen me do videos for at least 4 months. So yeah, that's that's mostly it. It's going into the future. I'm making that commitment that I want to highlight things that I care about. If I don't care about it, you might not see me on this channel for a while. I might just like, even if I do a video on it, I'll tell you, no, I don't like this. This is overrated to me. John Wick 3, that's an overrated. That let me not get into it. Actually, I will quickly. I don't like John Wick 3, man. I like the first hour, and then after the knife fight, it just goes downhill for me. I have to readjust the logic of how I see John Wick and his invulnerability every time I watch a movie. He can survive so and so in two that he couldn't survive with one, and then three, he falls off a building and survives. Do you know how hurtful that is? You're on something like, is this Fast and Furious? Is this a Fast and Furious movie? Someone tell me. Why are you insulting my intelligence? It's, I will watch John Wick 4, but now I officially have to think of it with the same logic as the Fast and Furious movie because of that. That thing alone. Actually, not that alone. What else did I not like? Oh, I didn't like that they didn't crank up the intensity to me after the knife fight in John Wick 3. To me, there should have been like, it should have felt tense all the time. And I didn't feel that way watching this movie and watching John Wick 3 when it came out. And that just hurt, man. So, honestly, yeah, going forth, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not gonna hold back in terms of my mindset towards movies, TV, whatever I'm reviewing. Yeah, because yeah, whatever I'm reviewing, I'm just gonna make sure I'm not holding back. That I prioritize what I want to see. That if I do review something, that doesn't mean I'm gonna review it if it comes up again, like another TV series, because I may not like it. I may not like how the first season ends, second season, like with Mandalorian. So we'll see. Yeah, but that's just my mindset about movies, the state of movies. Oh, I'm excited about what DC has in store for the future. I've not seen Wonder Woman 84. I don't like watching trailers at all. Um, but I'm excited for the future of that. I don't hate superhero movies. I like superheroes. I just don't like most of the movies. Sounds weird. Yeah, tell me what you think down below. If you like these videos, please make sure you press that subscribe and thumbs up this video. Salut.